Hello everybody, this is Spirelli and welcome back to Disco Elysium. Where we're gonna go, what we're gonna do. Anybody remember? No need you to shout at the screen as if we're in like, I don't know, one of these kids shows. Well. Like there's so much that I want to do when Kim's back until I want to do without him. I did want to sing karaoke, right? Let's see about that. Let's see whether there's anything else I need to do in order to sing karaoke. Although I think I'm supposed to sing it in the evenings, so probably not gonna do singing now. Just gonna have a little chat. Gonna see, you know, what we feel about the singing and the thing.
Hey, was there something you needed?
Oh no, if I tell him I want to sing karaoke, it's like no. About my
Got
bill
the
for
20
tonight.
real?
No.
Then why are you wasting my time?
Well, I'm sorry. I just came in here for a little chat. I don't want to sing karaoke now. I want to sing karaoke in the evening when the place is packed. But then what is there to do that I don't need him for? Legendary and legendary are the things that I can do. Find a jacket. I can talk to Joyce just about reality. Yeah, I can do that. Still needs to teach me a lot. Ooh.
There. Working class drunk. You know what this means, right?
Hey, solved.
Cracked it. All in a good day's work.
Wait, what did I crack exactly?
What do you mean, what did I crack?
I don't
Look
even...
at how working class that drunk is.
I don't see anybody. It's her husband, missing husband.
Yes, and you found him. Now go and tell the working class woman. Protect and serve, recruit. Didn't she repeatedly tell you her husband isn't missing though?
Doesn't add up. I'm only making a fool of myself. And when would I ever do that?
Do marriages make any sense? Does honor? You're not a filthy philosopher. You're an officer of law. It's time to ace this case and not brood over your reputation. We can deal with the perception management later.
Screw that perception management. This is gonna go on my solved cases number. Give me champagne, I'm going in.
There's no need for champagne when there's honor, recruit.
Oh, okay.
Go and tell the working class woman what you found right now.
Where is it though? There's nobody here. These two are just playing? Nobody here. Also not the working class woman, so I don't know where to go. The girl.
Hello again, sir.
Who are these famous people?
Oh, kings and queens and generals of old, or artists and writers, or musicians, those kinds of people. There's usually something extraordinary about them. I think that's why people read them, to find the secrets of their fame.
Seems like most people who read those books fail to get more famous from reading them.
Reading those doesn't make the readers more famous, does it?
But it does make the famous people more famous.
These famous people sound like a bunch of dorks.
Annette's expression remains ever so helpful, but she doesn't say anything.
Yeah, you heard me. Only losers waste their time with that garbage.
Isn't that kind of a childish thing for a grown-up to say?
When she grows up, and if she grows up to be clever, she'll discover there's no such thing as a grown-up.
Oh, can I say that? If you grow up to be clever, you'll discover there's no such thing as a grown-up.
Okay, sir.
You can stop calling me sir. I am but a working man.
No, sir, I can't. It would be too tiring to refrain from it. It's already tiring enough to remember to say it all the time. It's nice of you to say I could stop, though.
I get it. I, for example, can't stop making this face. Look at this beauty. Look at it. Look at the grin.
That's a friendly enough face, most of the time.
Oh, thank you. That's so nice. What's this crime business?
Crime fiction is about murders or burglaries or things like that, and the work of a policeman or a private detective who's trying to solve a crime and catch the criminals.
Why would anyone want to read about crime?
It's exciting to people, I guess. They get to imagine dangerous things, and it's kind of like a puzzle, where you can guess who the criminal is, or how the good guys are going to catch him.
I'm a policeman myself, by the way. The law, as I say.
You don't look much like a policeman.
Huh. Well, what does a cop look like then?
Didn't mean to offend, sir. Sorry, sir. It's just that you don't look like Dick Mullen.
He points to the book cover on which you see a strapping Vespertine officer. He stands grimly over the body of a dead woman. It's not your body that's important in police work anyway. It's your point to your head.
Head? Yes.
No, your mind. Not head, child. Heads.
I have so many of those. Quicksilver mind. This Mullen guy looks like he needs 4 hours just to come up with a single idea.
No, he's wicked smart in the stories.
Sure, and the author does all the thinking for him. Real policemen have to think and act on their own.
Like you, sir, of course. He's just a fictional character. He's no match for you. Maybe you can show me some real police work, sir. Like in the books.
Okay, I'm going to do something now.
The girl keeps her hands folded, hidden. Why is that?
Hey, why do you keep your hands folded?
What do you mean, sir?
You can show them to me.
She looks around anxiously. Her hands remain folded in front of her. She doesn't want to show them.
It's okay.
She brings out her reddened hands, her nails frayed, nearly chewed down to the flesh.
You bite your nails.
And you knew this from me keeping my hands folded?
Yes.
Well, that proves nothing. Anyone could do an easy deduction like that.
Her eyes flash with defiance. She's not impressed. Want more? Bet I can figure out why you bite your nails. I got a few reasons in mind.
She nods, half provocative, half enthusiastic.
You're uptight because of your mother and the pressure she's putting up on you.
Maybe so, sir. Okay, I know it's a bad habit, and I shouldn't.
Either way, another ace deduction by the #1 detective in town.
It was okay, sir.
I got a rebellious streak.
There's more that can be achieved here. Ask her to do the same.
You think so? Find you better to do something about me.
You're quite sober.
Snaps back. And I'm having a grand time.
I sure hope you are, sir.
There she stands, swaying on her feet, assaulted by the early spring breeze. She smiles at you. The whole situation suddenly feels familiar, somehow. There's something you're missing.
Was this suggestion? I need to put on some more suggestive code in order to talk to this girl. This sentence is not, no, don't, no. Not what I was trying to say. Oh god. Didn't that give me suggestion? Why don't I have more suggestions? Why don't I have anything? Come on. Oh, get the shirt off. Not like wearing.
Hi, Ace Detective. Are you here for more books?
What are you missing here? Why does this feel familiar?
You have absolutely no idea. Familiar? How? You must have forgotten something you heard again.
I got a point, but probably suggesting a really weak spots. Car man and played them. That'd be cool, but I don't think that's skill from me.
Hi, Ace Detective. Are you here for more books?
Yeah, what is romance?
It's the type of book where there's a rich lady and she has to choose between the good man and the bad man.
Okay.
Or there could be a story about a poor lady getting a rich man. It's about man and lady business, sir.
What about a poor man getting a rich lady?
It happens, but usually the guy gets rich in the process. Or should actually be rich himself, but has lost his family property unjustly, like during the revolution or something.
Okay.
Those are unhappy books, for most of the pages. People sad about what they have lost, but then it all turns out just fine in the end.
What about when both of the men are bad?
These are not very common. You can't have a choice between bad and bad. Nobody wants to read a story like that.
What if it's written really well?
Well, maybe then it's fine. Maybe if the lady then decides not to pick either, because she doesn't need a bad man. Yes, that would be interesting.
What about when everyone is poor?
That's really not a proper romance story. That's more like everyday life.
Sometimes you have to write about real life things.
Not in romance books, sir. These are about nice and pretty people, and everyone is happy in the end.
What about a book where the man-lady business doesn't work out at all?
I haven't read many of those. Maybe you should ask Mum.
Yeah? You think she has one about an excruciatingly painful breakup?
I don't think it's a romance story if the main characters break up, though.
He pauses, trying to figure out the appropriate answer. No, think about it. One where they plunge into a third spell of pain and recrimination, and it's really long and drawn out. Scarred for life, phantom limb.
No, I don't know.
Doesn't ring a bell? Alright, I'll ask your mum.
Yes, she knows books, definitely.
What was that? An idea for an unfinished novel stuck somewhere in your forebrain?
Enough romance for me. I had other questions.
Maybe some about other books?
Bye-bye. Gotta talk to your mum, I think. Gotta see what she has to say about my fantastic book idea of poor people and breakups and there's no good person.
Hello again, esteemed officer, and welcome to Crime, Romance, and Biographies of Famous People.
All the pressure's made Annette really anxious. You know she's chewing her nails?
God, I've told her not to do that. It's disgusting. And I told you to mind your own business. Clearly, you have no idea how hard it is to raise a girl in this economy.
I don't think she can do anything about it.
She can, if she has enough willpower. This is what's called growing pains. Life isn't easy. Life doesn't give breaks.
What you're doing is wrong. Even I know that, and I usually don't know anything.
She stands stiff and severe, silently fuming. 10 or so seconds pass without change. She's looking for one, but there simply aren't any good arguments for being an asshole.
Oh no. Hold on. I need to invite her inside and apologise. She must be freezing out there. There. I don't know what to say to you. My husband, he tries to teach me business lessons. I have what my mother called a dull mind. All this stress.
Is this husband Annette's father?
Yes, My husband is a successful entrepreneur east of the river. If only he were more involved in the business we're running up here. No matter. Soon we'll both be off for Grand Couronne.
Wait, Grand Couronne, what's that?
It's a proper place to live. One of the most peaceful neighbourhoods east of Jamrock. You may know it for its massive housing projects.
Okay. So you're getting out of here.
Most of the buildings are empty at the moment. It's a great opportunity to get ahead of the crowds. Better times ahead for sure.
Yeah, could work out. And your husband's also involved with the bookstore?
He made the initial investment. Since then, he's been what you might call a silent partner.
Super silent. Almost inaudibly so.
She told me she doesn't go to school anymore.
She's been too busy helping me here. So she studied at home this trimester. This is a temporary solution, of course. I assure you, I of all people understand the importance of education. She will be back in school the moment the store takes off.
And hell freezes over? Never mind. It's not a good topic to get into.
You're an only child.
Yes, I'm afraid so. A real treat she is. It would be nice if she had... No, we couldn't have afforded more children, really. Not in this economy.
Oh look, there she's sitting.
A glimmer of sadness blinks through the well-crafted exterior.
Why not?
We're quite busy people, you know, my husband and I. Quite busy. Children are a lot of work. You don't look like a father, so I don't expect you to understand. I'm sorry. I'm sure you do understand.
Alright, I had something else in mind.
The woman looks aloof, her features much softer. Occasionally she glances at her daughter's silhouette.
Hey, farewell for now. Hey there. You're inside.
I'm sorry, sir. I can't talk right now. I'm very busy with my homework. I have so much homework now.
Out of the rain and into the gutter.
I helped her in. That helps me. What am I missing?
Because you know each other. She's been talking to you so openly because you've talked before.
Hang on, so you know me? We've met before.
Yes, I used to stand out there all the time before Mother told me to focus on my homework. You've been running around all week without your shirt on, sir. Telling people about being a star or something. I don't really understand who those stars are.
Did I ever talk to you?
Of course, you've stopped by a few times. You certainly look better than the last time I saw you.
Thanks, I'm trying.
Yeah, I can see. You don't have party eyes anymore.
Party house.
You know, like a cat in the dark, all big and wide-eyed. It certainly looks odd on a man.
The swiveling eyes of a loony drug addict. That is what she meant. You were probably gurning too. Good thing she didn't say party eyes loud. Her mother's nearby. Fuck yeah. You should get some party eyes right now. Snap
No.
those sequins on you, boy.
Does that mean I've been partaking in narcotics?
Oh, baby, that's not what you have to worry about. Worry about the important thing.
So why didn't you tell me you knew me to begin with?
I didn't know I had to do that.
Thanks, I've learned something about myself today.
I'm glad I could help you, sir.
What are you doing now?
Math. It's really difficult. Like, really. They say you need it to get rich. Better than standing outside in the cold, I guess. Oh, I found something while you were away.
What is it?
I thought this would fit you. Like, thanks for helping out. Not me. The city, I mean. Like a detective does.
Gives you a hat, almost exactly like the one Dick Mullen wears on the cover. A detective hat?
Yes, just like the one Dick Mullen wears all the time. You'll look way more serious with that. Right, I have to get back to my homework now. Before Mum notices. Man, this is hard.
Bye, see you around in it. Get something good and we gotta... What do I have here? Oh yeah. How is this one? Look at me. Yep. Detective style. Cool. So I helped her. What else can I do? Right. I wanted to learn more about reality. All of that. Learn as much as I can learn, and you know. Is that until King comes back? I can do all the fun detective work meant to do together. Wait, did we already talk to Smoke on the balcony? Is it apartment 28? Sometime after 9. If anyone's home. On the number and we can call Alice, but I can't do that. Hey, so there's so much stuff to do once it gets evening. It just sits somewhere and pass time.
You're back. Good. What can I help you with?
Got some more questions about reality.
More lessons in basic reality? My favourite part of the day. Go ahead, ask me anything.
Okay, what is?
What is all of this? The scent, the sound, the air.
What world is this?
What world? The only one, I suppose. The world of matter. And its pale antipode, of bodies of water and forest-covered surfaces, clusters of light where the cities lie. You've seen the montage. We all have. This world is enough. There is a term of endearment they coined for it, in the DeLorean century, when humanity was high on this world, discovering more and more of it, these archipelagos included.
What is it?
Elysium.
Elysium. The world needs a term of endearment.
It does. There are those who would call it hell.
What is hell?
A term of hatred that originates, like many such things, with the Mesk petro-fascists.
I don't feel like I've got the whole picture yet.
Oh, you want a picture of the world? There is no complete set yet, dear. They're having some trouble reaching orbit.
How come?
Great things are difficult to achieve. For now, we're viewing the world from the inside, sideways.
Inside sideways? What type is this world then?
We used to think it was a sphere, but that is beginning to look less and less likely by the day. You wouldn't know it from the tabloids, but the ORG nations have been launching weather balloons into the lower ionosphere since the 30s.
Okay.
ORG, Occident Revichol-Grad.
There's a steadily increasing trickle of images. Between the big three scientific contributors, they're piecing together a dark grey corona.
A dark great corona.
Yes. Pale covers 72% of the surface. There are grey flares and prominences, even arcs above entire isolas. The images are blurry, but if there was a sphere in there, it certainly looks like it fractured a long time ago.
A cold fear seeps into you.
Pale. What do you mean, corona? Especially in this year, this seems a little... What?
They say there is a rarefied envelope of matter surrounding the darkened disk of our planet. That is, if we are still living on a planet. Or, to speak more plainly, imagine vast swathes of land disrupted by nothingness. I am sorry, dear. It must sound quite terrifying through the acute encephalopathy. Even scientific positivism isn't entirely convinced about what we're dealing with here. But this is one of the greatest questions of our time. Maybe when they get the complete set together, it will jolt us out of our rut, bring us together, however naive it may sound.
Fractured corona doesn't feel like it's going to bring anyone together.
You have misimagined it. I don't have the power to convey to you the effect and geometry of the images that depict our world from below low orbit. It's like the crowning of the world. It's insane. Very disco. You'd love it.
Are we getting to the name of the game? Well, if you say it's disco.
See? Everyone finds something worth holding on to in this world, however wasted its opportunities.
It's a disc Elysium. What is pale?
The pale is not, technically speaking, part of reality. It is the opposite of reality.
Okay, but what is it? The definition.
Okay. The pale is the most dominant geological feature of the world, Detective. The separative tissue between the islas. It is the inter-islary mass.
Wait, and what is an isla?
Isla is a Messinian word for a continent of matter, enveloped on all sides by the pale. Also, isolation, or landmass. We used to believe there was only one. In the last 4 centuries, we have discovered 7. Windy, Seol, Samara, Ilmara, Grad, Katla, and this, Insulinde.
Okay, what is the pale like?
Achromatic, odorless, featureless. The pale is the enemy of matter and life. It is not like any other, or anything in the world. It is the transition state of being into nothingness.
The negation of being.
The negation of...
That's right. The negation of being.
Okay. You're surrounded by pale. How do you get from Isola to Isola?
Oh, it is so difficult for us.
A squall of birds. Hardware operating in the harbor. Firm. Self-evident.
It is possible to force dimensions on the pale. In modern times, we can even compress its latitude, bouncing radio waves from one end to the other, shortening the path. But it is still hard for humans to navigate the pale without getting lost, or having our minds damaged.
Pale can damage the mind.
Extensively.
How?
Some say the damage stems from extreme sensory deprivation. Others argue that pale somehow consists of past information that's degrading, that it's rarefied past, not rarefied matter. They call it the blend over of the self. The pale does not only suspend the laws of physics, but also the laws of psychology, maybe history even. The human mind becomes over-radiated by past.
Gotta tell you, having the main character have amnesia, and then putting one smart character in there, sure makes for a great way to push in all of the lore of the universe.
Who says and who argues?
This is just like an extensive school lesson. Who says and who argues? Yeah, let me.
The logical positivists say, the dialectical materialists argue.
What does this over-radiation feel like?
It feels terrible. Absolutely terrible. International standards strictly limit civilian travellers to 6 days of pale exposure per year.
It's more for her. Way more.
You're not a civilian passenger.
No, nameless detective of the Citizens Militia. I am a member of the Entreprenetic Business Class. I'm cleared and trained for 22 days of pale transit annually.
Someone else you've met may have been exposed as well. The strange grey-haired woman in her lorry.
Do lorry drivers pass the pale?
Yes, carried in the hulls of airships. It's a horrific job. Automation will abolish it soon.
You should ask the pale driver about this. See what she says.
Are you over-radiated?
Up to my gills, officer.
Is it here?
No, detective. We're safe. It begins there, 6,000 kilometers to the north, and even more to the south, east, and west. You are in the middle of the Isla.
And... oh, there?
An uproar of matter, darling. Rising into the pale. Rolling. Evaporating even. A great vision. The area of transition between the world and the pale is called porch collapse. Imagine a grey coronal mist, cold vapour marked by spores of an opportunistic microorganism. A mould that's adapted to grow at the edge of the unrest. It's the most disco thing you will ever see.
You hear your pulse rise. The air feels caustic and cold suddenly.
Just say disco and I'm in. What are its physical qualities?
It's difficult to describe, or even measure. Something whose fundamental property is the suspension of properties. Physical, epistemological, linguistic. The further into Pale you travel, the steeper the degree of suspension, right down to the mathematical. Numbers stop working. No one has yet passed the number barrier. It may be impossible.
There's a slippery article in there.
Is it the Pale or Pale?
Pale when it's particular, this territory of Pale. The Pale when it's pale in its entirety. Once you've seen it, language balks at the difference.
How much Pale is there compared to the world?
The Pale outweighs reality 2 to 1. There is more Pale than there is matter, and the ratio is slipping.
Flipping how? To a detriment? Or
What do you think, Detective?
it's growing, there's more and more of the Pale.
Precisely. One of the few measurable effects of the Pale is that it is expanding at an unknown rate. An intuitive conclusion of that development is that one day the Pale will cover everything. But this sort of talk is mostly left to extremists.
It's not extreme at all, it's going to happen.
Most people, and indeed most private and government sector organizations, entire civilizations and religions even, find handy ways to ignore or downplay that knowledge. I suggest you do the same.
I can just gulp.
It doesn't look like you're doing the same. The suggestion was meant in earnest, Detective. Live life.
Okay, last question, and then we're done with this school lesson. What is entreprenetic?
Entreprenetics is the scientific study of the Pale, or a recent iteration of it by way of grad. The study of the Pale reaches back 6,000 years. The Pericarnassians called it the Western Plain.
They had not traveled the entire circumference of the Pericarnassian Super E Solar. It was not merely in the west, it was everywhere, even then, surrounding them.
Did they cross it? Western Plain?
There are signs of pre-modern crossings. Successful navigation of the Pale relies not just on technical know-how, but intensive psychological preparation. Some of these tactics have been known for thousands of years.
What has entreprenetics changed on?
Nothing. We remain powerless before the Pale. The only real advance in Pale transit is the speed with which an aerostatic craft can pierce it. Less exposure leads to less effects later.
Aerostatic craft?
Hybrid airships, Detective. Conventional rotors or jet engines no longer add velocity after the point of reference for motion is suspended, once you've crossed from near Pale to far Pale.
Near Pale and far Pale?
In essence, we throw them in and they come out the other end. If we throw them precisely.
And if we do not?
Then they don't.
Gone, like a skipping stone beneath the surface.
Yeah, let's return to reality, please.
Yes, sweet reality. But before we do, tell me, Detective, is this the first time you're hearing this? Do you really not remember anything?
I'm getting a sense of who I am, but no, I didn't know this.
Beyond curious. Tell me, what do you think of the Pale?
I mean, you're right, it's disco.
Mm-hmm.
Eyes tense, crow's feet radiate from them. She observes you, your bloodshot eyes and swollen face.
You really didn't know. This does not spell good for the investigation, Detective. If you don't know even this, then...
This investigation will be my masterpiece. The one they remember me by, I promise.
I hope so. I truly do. If I may suggest, hold on to your colleague, Kitsuragi. I ran a check on him and he is very competent.
But I lost him.
In the meanwhile,
he's not around.
you have me. I will assist you in any way I can, even if we have to do it one basic term at a time.
Secret task complete. Talk to Chase about the Pale without Kim. Oh. Wonder what he would have had to say to that.
Glad to have been of assistance. The little...
Okay. Let's stop this. So I could not have done this with him? Interesting. I need it to be later. Sing karaoke. Him back for a lot of things. I'm so tempted to just sit on the bench, you know, and just like let's rest. I'll just be like,
You sit on the wind-worn wooden planks of the bench. Your feet ache.
think deep thoughts.
You finally stop picking your nose.
Oh, you shush, stare into the sky.
Time passes.
It
The
does.
sun does its best to ward off the chill of the coast. It barely helps, as if the world itself has turned against you.
Let me just twiddle my thumbs a bit.
The twiddling barely keeps your hands warm against the frigid wind blowing from the coast. After a while, you've had enough.
Okay, let's go and see whether there's people who want to watch me sing karaoke or they come later. Oh, I should talk to the lorry driver. How did I already forget about that? I mean, if there's no people yet, I can just get out. Surely I need to really show them how sad I am. To do that, there need to be a lot of people there. That's just how the world works. Don't ask me why. Where's the tribe? Here. In there.
The woman is still hunched over.
Huh? What is it? What do you want?
I think I know what's going on with you.
And what is that?
You're a Pale driver. He transports goods through the Pale.
Oh meu Deus. The lawman solved the case. And here I was, thinking you were an idiot. So, are you? An idiot, I mean?
I blacked out from sheer heartbreak. A little bit of alcohol, but mostly sheer heartbreak. Lost all memory of the world.
Like Gabriel Buenguerro in Segúreme, Paraíso. You're the opposite of me, then. I remember everything, even the things I never knew.
Things you never knew.
The smell of liquor on Gabriel's lips after the shoot. In the motor park. The roses on the day of Franco Negro's coronation. On the grand stairs of Ryle. The smoke from the Fowling piece when Dolores Day was shot. The look on her face, like an orgasm. The wound in her chest. My hand in my father's hand. Except I never had a father. And I never shot her innocent Dolores Day.
Over radiation?
Heroic doses, Hervé. Heroic.
Isn't that dangerous?
Thought insertion? Dithering? The Grad Catala Magistral? It's more than dangerous. It's sad. But at first I had to make a living. Now, when you've seen it all go away like that, rolling off like the sea, and then come back to this,
Just at the square, the broken horse monument, the clanging of machines in the distance.
what are we doing here? For thousands of years, Gabriel. It doesn't have to be like this. We can just give up. We can just become a vapor.
What does it feel like?
Nothing. Until it starts. When you are deep enough. Then, for me, it's like autumn. Dark, gray, and orange. The orange of street lights and the color of streets in the electric light. It smells like autumn too. It smells terrible.
What does it look like, the Pale?
Like looking into the ocean at night. In the dark.
And
You cannot see it, but you know it's there.
Oh,
And
wow.
it's big, bigger than anything. Bigger than all the other things combined.
Sorry for the ringing. How do you pass through it?
In the belly of an airship, behind the stair windows. So you don't look straight into it. It's not advised to look into it.
Not on this lorry then.
No, the same one, a roller. They all are nowadays. Special wheels for connecting to the floor of the hold.
The wheels all small and round, multi-axle trailers.
One last thing. You said we can become vapor?
Yes,
No elaboration.
We already have what you have in some way.
they say there is a point. One that I have not crossed. In the Pale, super deep. If you stray too far, of course, on the U41A, or in Lomonosov's land, where every step you take is one step further from home, no matter the direction. It's a point you cannot come back from. Your mind becomes so radiant with the past, there is a flip. Instead of writing, it erases memory, nearing some kind of indescribable finale. Maybe you've been down the motorway south?
Motorway south?
It's a story as lone horsemen tell. Lone horsemen, carve, not pale drivers. Way beyond the established pale that's lit by radio frequencies, where it goes silent and dark, and the process begins, erasure, kilometer by kilometer, in any direction. The motorway south is a road you cannot come back from.
In the center of this town, there's a ghostly motorway, she sang.
Takes all the people where they want to.
They say I've been away on a kind of holiday.
What is at the end of the motorway south?
No one knows what's at the end. I've only glimpsed the beginning.
Take cigarette off the cigarette holder.
I've only felt it in the distance when I was a child. A child rowing on the lake.
Ma'am?
Josiana.
She is receding in the clutches of some indescribable scattered emotion. A child descending.
Interesting. Motorway south. At the edge of the map, the landmass begins to disintegrate into pure trigonometry. The ocean melts, becoming a tangle of sines and cosines. Oh, sines and cosines. The mountain range turns into a sharp-angled azimuth. Screen range shadow dithers, like music turning into a waveform, and then vanishes. This is the end. A half-remembered textbook from your childhood. The porch collapsing on the edge of the isola. A transition from reality to pale. A single vector shoots out like a rocket. The motorway south. Splinting off from the pale. To where? Where does it go? I want to research that. Give me this. Analyze. Okay. I need to level up. Anyway, oh my, wow! You know how I was like a little bit like, oh yeah, I have a user and the lady's just telling me a bunch of stuff. Shit got crazy! Oh my god, I did not expect there to be a lot of nothingness in this universe. A lot of like this pale and the Travis who go through it, and I'm intrigued. I want to know more about this. Also, I said around a lot. So actually, I think next time you can find this in karaoke and do all the things, and then probably like the video after or something. Kim's gonna be back. I mean, gonna be back the next morning. Oh, I need to, after I sing karaoke, I need to remember that I'm sleeping at the new place. But wow, this world building, this game, I don't know how, like, whenever I play, every time once I'm done playing, I just gush over it. So this time I'm gonna keep it really short, just like, wow. Thank you so much for joining along. I enjoyed. I hope you love it too. And yeah, I'll see you soon with more. I can't wait.